If you have $1,000 sitting in the bank right now as an emergency fund, extra cash that you just have there just in case of an emergency, you are better than the majority of Americans financially. Now, again, I'm not saying this generally, I'm saying this statistically, because right now, 57% of Americans have less than $1,000 saved up for an emergency, meaning for more than half of Americans, if something happened to your car and that car bill was $1,300 to fix that issue, more than half of Americans would have to go into debt to fix that problem, which is why if you have $1,000 sitting in your savings account right now as an emergency kind of cash pile, well, you are winning financially. Now, you don't want to stop here. I like to say that you need to have a minimum of $2,000 saved up in your emergency savings, and then you need to continue to work to build up this savings until you have somewhere between 3 months to a year's worth of savings saved in cash for emergencies only. But you got to start somewhere. You got to start with the first dollar, then your first 100, then your first 1,000. And if you have $1,000 saved up, well, you're beating half of Americans financially. Now, if you do not have the $1,000 saved up, this does not mean that you have lost in the game of money, but it means you got to get serious about your money, because the reality is it costs money to eat and it costs money to feed other people. It's very easy to create smoke screens around this topic of money that, oh, money's bad, money's evil, money's taboo, you shouldn't worry about money, money's only for rich, greedy people. You can say that all day and night long, but at the end of the day, hugs and kisses are not going to pay your credit card bill. So if you are struggling with money, if you do not have any sort of financial systems built, it's okay. I want you to take a breather and understand that you can get out of whatever financial situation that you're in, but that means you're going to have to start putting work towards fixing the problem. And that starts by you making some financial sacrifices, cutting down on some of your spending, working to earn more money, but then not spending the money that you're working to earn now. You got to take this money, you got to pay down some of the debt, you got to build some savings, and you got to start investing your money, because that's how wealth is built. But that starts with you taking your first step now and actually realizing that, okay, I got a problem. I have a financial problem. I don't have any savings. I'm drowning in debt. I don't have any investments. I need to do something about this. And that's where the financial education starts, and I have a ton of videos on my channel. But let's keep going. If you own any designer clothes, Gucci, Louis Vuitton, or you own a BMW, or you own a fancy watch like a Rolex, but you don't have the same amount of money that you spent on this luxury in the stock market, or if you don't own a rental property, your priorities are in the wrong place. Because what you see happen is people will be very comfortable spending $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 at the Gucci store. But when it comes to spending $5,000 into the stock market or $5,000 into an investment, now it's like, whoa, what happens if I lose my money? What happens if the market goes down? What happens if the economy crashes? What happens if I lose my job? What happens if the company that I invested in goes bankrupt? But you miss the whole point and the whole strategy around the chance of actually being able to build wealth with that money, because when you go and spend $5,000 on that Gucci, that $5,000 is going in the garbage. Now look, there's nothing wrong with owning nice stuff. There's nothing wrong with having designer stuff. There's nothing wrong with having luxury stuff. I want you to have that stuff if you want it. But you got to make yourself rich before you go out and you make Gucci rich. Do you know why the CEO of Louis Vuitton is one of the richest people in the world? He's either the richest person or the second richest person or the third richest person. It just depends on the day. But he's one of the richest people in the world, if not the richest person in the world. It just depends on what the day is looking like. It's because people are willing to spend money to look like they're rich, buying the Louis Vuitton before they're actually rich. And so now, when you are working hard to make money, are you working hard to make Louis Vuitton rich, or are you working hard to make yourself rich? Because that salary by itself isn't going to make you rich. You got to take that salary and do something with it. And when I say do something with it, I don't mean take that money that you just earned and turn it into a handbag, or turn it into a belt, or turn it into a fancy car. I mean, turn this money that you earned into an income-producing asset, something that's going to keep spitting off cash to you every month, every quarter, every year. That way now, you're working to make money, and all the money you're making is making you more money. As opposed to you're working to make money, you take the money that you're working to earn and going out and buying a handbag. One of these things is going to make you rich. One of these things is going to make somebody else rich. And when you keep working to make everybody else rich, well, you are stimulating the American economy, and the American economy loves you. But if you want to make yourself rich, you got to be the one that's working to earn money That way now you're buying assets. That way now you own the things that are being sold in the economy. That way you can be the one that's getting rich as the economy is growing. If you enjoyed this short clip from my longer videos, here's another clip that I think you'll love. And while you're at it, if you're interested in learning more about how to start generating passive income, our team put together an amazing guide on how to start generating passive income for free. All you gotta do is click that button right over there. Thank you for watching, and as always, keep hustling.